Market update here on the 6th. So I think there's two different possibilities. Oh, three different possibilities, I guess, for QQQ. So one is that this is the very top of the B wave move, which I think is very unlikely, and we go down to new lows. The second possibility is the one that I've been following the whole time, which is WXY. Why does this make sense? Because if we look at this on the using our fibs, we hit the 1.61 fib perfectly. So if we sell off from here, we can come all the way down here to 333. There's a gap fill around that area. The 0.23 fib is around 329.60. And then we got 314, which is a 0.38 fib. If that were to happen, let's say we come up all the way down here, I would be looking for something going into the end of the year, even more bullish, like that. Or it could be even like this as well. And yeah, that'd be pretty mega bullish. And it could even extend into 2024 if that's the case. So that's the second possibility. The first possibility, again, was this. And then the move down here to, I think this is very unlikely. WXY, I would say I am 50-50 on that with the one I'm about to show you. And the one I'm about to show you would mean that this was the bottom of the bear market. I've been kind of against this move for a while, but I'm taking it into consideration because if this is a third wave for how far it's gone, we crossed the 1.61 fib. The only thing is we have not gotten outside the parallel lines. So this move right here would have to go higher. It would mean that we're likely looking at a shallow second wave, and then we'd probably pull back, and then we'd have to get something outside the parallel lines higher. This would mean we'd probably pull back to somewhere around like 345, maybe 340. And the whole thing would probably go all the way up to $386 to $397. So we'd basically getting close to topping with the all-time high. And then that would end up being just the third wave, though. So 1, 2, 3. Then we pull back and even go higher than that. So let's say we go to 390. Pull back here to 362. And that would be looking at something around 445 to 460 for a fifth wave. And then that would only be the overall third wave. So you can see how pivotal the next, probably the next couple of months are going to be pretty pivotal in figuring out what is going on here. Are we in a bull market here on QQQ? Or is it WXY, pull back and go higher, and that's only the B wave and we go lower? So the second scenario would end up looking like probably something like this. We'd probably just do a normal flat, actually. And it would probably end, so here's the fourth wave outside the parallel line right here. It'd probably be something like that for the WXY move. Or we just go ahead and finish this bull market that started in 2002. So the reason why I think that there's probably another leg down and I'm favoring the WXY is because, well, I guess it could go either way. We've crossed halfway point, so it could just be that this is the bottom, or we come outside here in the parallel line and break break down farther, we've only retraced to not even the 0.23 fib, so that's another reason why I think WXY makes sense. I think coming down here to the low 200s before going higher makes a lot of sense. But I'm not going to argue with the chart. If we break outside the parallel line, then I'm going to go ahead and say we're probably in a bull market. So we're pretty close to it. We'll see how this correction goes. But yesterday we were barely up, today we're barely down. Nothing really happened. If I had to guess, though, I would expect a pretty hard sell-off coming here over the next couple of months. Not like really dramatic, but I think a lot of people aren't expecting that. But we have the VIX down here at, oh, the VIX is, I didn't look at the VIX all day. It's below 14 now. So, I mean, it can keep on going lower, I guess, down here below 10, down to 9, potentially even hit all-time lows. But you got to think that we are approaching a correction here soon. So that's why I would say I'm a little bit leaning towards WXY, but again, it could just come down here to 345 and we get a spike up to 20 on the VIX, and then it just keeps on going from 20 to 15 back and forth. So those are the possibilities I see with QQQ, SPY. SPY, if I look at this on the long-term chart, I still think that this has more downside. It hasn't even crossed the halfway point for a fourth wave. So I think it's going to come down here to the low 300s at some point. And on smaller time frames, I think it can go all the way up here, though, to 450. So that'd be about $30 less, and that $30 less than the A wave is around 315 or so. So if we zoom in here a little bit, this could be a lot of different things. It could be, you could look at it like this or like this, and this could end up being something like that. So A, B, C right here. So basically A, B, and C like that. The 1.61 fib is right around there. So I think that SPY has higher to go too, but I would expect to pull back as well in that here soon. But we'll see. This market's been pretty tricky lately and just not giving back any gains. So anyway, on short term, I'm looking for a little bit of pullback on SPY as well. Here's one that I'm looking at pretty hard. I actually bought the dip on this today, and I day traded it. I bought at 202. They had some kind of news coming out talking about one of their aircrafts is having some malfunctions. So it sold off really hard from 211 down here to 200. I bought at 202 and then I sold at 207.50. Because if we zoom out here on the chart, I've had this for a long time. Someone asked me a question a long time ago about this chart. I looked into it, and I really like this setup. So we have W, X, and I think that the Y wave can go all the way up here to potentially, let's see, I think it can go all the way up to 354. So maybe it takes a while to get there, but I think it can go all the way to 350. There's a gap fill here at 302. And so, yeah, I'm pretty bullish on Boeing in the short and long term. On the next couple of days, though, I think it could come down here. If you can see, I basically have this drawn up as a 5-wave move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then on this shorter term time frame, we have a triangle, A, B, C, D, and I'm looking for about 195, and I'm looking to go long. Today I just bought because I was going to average in my position, and then it retraced pretty hard, and I was like, it's probably going to come back down here, so I just sold for a quick gain. But I still think that we're looking at something like this. down here to like 195. And then I would be buying that all day, looking for a break up here, and I'm looking for 300 minimum. So Boeing is a good buy here short term in my opinion. And overall, it would still only be the B wave. And then I'd be looking for a C wave down here to lower lows. I think there's a gap fill or something around here on 70. So ABC lower. If we zoom out on this one, you can see it's barely even retraced from when it started out. So ABC lower down here to 70. And yeah, that's pretty much it on Boeing. I'm going to do a video on SoFi either later tonight or this week. Real quick, Apple didn't move very much, but again, topped a little bit over my target, went to 185 yesterday, and then sold off after they had their demonstration of the goggles. And that's pretty much it. I think it topped out short term. This could be, while I think it is WXY, it went a little bit farther than it should have. So it could be a third wave, but again, I don't really like it because of the way this is set up. It didn't even come close to the parallel line. It's more of a corrective move. So I would lean towards, if it's going to go higher, it's probably going to pull back. I would be looking for somewhere around like 170, maybe down here to 160. There's a gap fill at 167. So I would look for a pullback in Apple, and then it's probably going to go higher, to be honest. Could be the end of this move right here, which would be A, B, and a C wave lower, but I wouldn't be surprised if it just keeps on going higher as well. Tesla. Tesla should have already topped out. I didn't really follow it that much today, but so let's see, we have fourth wave right here. No, third wave right here, fourth wave right here. And then 1, 2, third wave right here, fourth wave right here, fifth wave right here, it looks like. This has gone a little bit higher, but I think that it's probably, I guess this could be the fourth wave over here too. 1 second, let's see. Fourth wave's right here. That should be the fifth wave right there. And that should be the overall fifth wave. The only way this goes higher is an extension, but we know it's not an extension because this came down here below that. So I would say that this has to be, it should be A, B, and we should get a move down here in Tesla tomorrow. And then that could be the start of a correction that, you know, goes like this. Something like that. My target is down here at 185 to 175. And that would be the second wave. I still think that this can go all the way up to 320. If we look at, you just use this right here, you can just see. Oh, I'm not on log. Okay, so log is different. So on log scale, I think this can go all the way to 320. So there's a gap fill at 260 I previously talked about, but I think this can go higher than that. And it makes a lot of sense too. The top was at 414. If this is going to go to new lows, If this is WXY, it's got to go higher than 260. I think it's got to go to 320. So a lot of these stocks are showing that the market's probably going to go higher in the second half of the year. And that's kind of why I have Boeing going higher, Tesla going higher, SPY going higher, QQQ going higher. Let's look at Meta. I had a pretty bad trade in this actually. Well, it ended up not being as bad, but I bought it at 274, kind of as a hedge, and then it came down to 270. I didn't sell, sold covered calls at 273 for the 275 strike, and then it went to 276. So I was up in my position, but I was down in my covered calls, and I was just like, I don't think it's going to go higher. I'm just going to take a small loss. So I took a small loss, and it did pull back. So that was smart for me to take a small loss there, but it looks like this could be a second wave, and it could be going up here to do the gap fill at 289, but I mean, this move has just extended so many times. It kind of just depends on QQQ. Even figuring out this right here, it looks to me like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's a fifth wave. Should have ended right here. So I think it's probably the same thing as Tesla, just chopping around. Gap fill down here at 265. I would look for lower. I think that this one can go much higher as well. And you can just look at using log scale again. This could go up here and challenge all-time highs at 380. So it's probably going to pull back a little bit, but I think 380 is definitely achievable if the market continues to go higher. What else is there to go over? Amazon and Google. So Amazon broke the recent high, gap to fill at 134. Wouldn't be surprised if it hit the 134 gap fill around June 20th. We have the Fed on the 14th, so we'll see how the stocks go into that. But Amazon's got a gap fill at 134. And Amazon looks like it could have bottomed. Well, at least on this move for sure. I originally had it as A, B, and C like this. But I think it's probably just likely that it either bottomed or this is A right here, and we're working on B. So if it goes to 134 and it pulls back, it's probably going to go higher. And that's pretty much it. The dollar, I can't even hardly look at the dollar anymore. It doesn't really do anything. But I still think it's going to come down here to 93, and that should propel stocks higher in the second half of the year. And that's pretty much it. I would look for short term though to probably see a pullback here. Most of the stocks are looking for a pullback. IWM, it did come up here and finish at 184. It's my original projection was for this to be coming down here to 160. Still think that's very possible. This still looks like A, B, and a C wave down here. So I'd be surprised if this breaks above right now. I think that all the growth stocks need one more shakeout, and then they can really run. So that's pretty much it. I'll leave it at that for today. Leave me a comment. Make sure you are subscribing and hitting the like button for more updates. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Good luck trading. And I'll make some other videos later. I'm probably going to do a SoFi video here in a bit.